Hi, everybody. Okay, so I guess we had a problem with the lesson that I did the other day on YouTube for exponents. For some reason, it got marked as a private video, so I'm redoing it and posting it up there so you guys can see it. I apologize for that. But anyway, I hope you guys are all having a great, productive week. And I just wanted to go over this lesson very quickly. So the first thing is that you should have already looked at some of the documents that I put out on the assignment in Schoology. One of the documents is called Exponent and Powers Notes. I don't know if you guys can see this. You don't have to print it, of course. You just have to know that it's there. These are your notes. Basically, this is the introduction to the new lesson. And after you have listened to this lesson, you can save it so that you can look at it again if you need to. But basically, before we get started on exponents, we have to figure out what some of the language is in the area that we're going to study. So we're going to talk about the language of exponents today. And all of this is on your notes, okay? So the first thing we want to do is to figure out, what does an exponent look like? What is an exponent? Okay? An exponent is basically, as the example is on my notes, it's basically a larger number written with a smaller number up to the upper right corner. Okay, when I say larger number, I mean larger in size, not larger in quantity necessarily. This one happens to be that way because 5 is a bigger number than 2, but I'm talking about size, physical size. The 5 is written large and the 2 is written small. This is telling you that it's called 5 squared or 5 to the second power. Okay. But before we get into all of that, I want to label some of these things for you. What are these things called? So this large number here, 5, is called the base. Okay, 5 is the base. And if you look at your notes, it tells you that. This small number here is called the exponent. Okay, so 5 is the base and 2 is the exponent. The whole thing together is called a power, okay? So when we talk about powers and exponents, that's what we're talking about. 5 is the base, 2 is the exponent, okay? And the whole thing is the power. So what does this mean? What does this tell us? 5 times 2? No. This is a multiplication problem. It's definitely a way to express multiplication, but it's not telling you to multiply the base, which is 5, times 2, the exponent. What it's saying is that you're going to multiply your base, 5, times itself 2 times. So what that looks like is 5 times 5. Okay? 5 times itself 2 times. 1 time, 2 times. 5 to the second power is 5 times 5. Okay? What happens if we made a mistake and we said it's actually 5 times 2? Well, look at the answer you're going to get. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 is not the right answer. This is not expressing 10. It's expressing 25. Okay, so again, we've got our base, which is 5, our 2, the exponent, the whole thing is a power, and this is telling us we're multiplying the base, 5, times itself 2 times. 1, 2. Okay? Now, the other language that I want you to remember is down at the bottom of the page, where it says that any number raised to the second power, just like this example, 3 to the power of 2, is saying 3 squared. That's the word I want you to remember, squared. Okay, 3 squared. I know the light is bad. 3 squared. That's telling you that you're going to multiply the base, which is 3, times itself twice. 3 times 3, which is 9. Okay? So, squared is any time you raise a number to the second power, Any number to the power of 2 can be expressed as saying that number squared. Okay, so it could be 6 to the power of 2, 10 to the power of 2, 15 to the power of 2. All of these are expressed the same. It's 6 squared, 10 squared, or 15 squared. Okay? And basically, all of these are the same. It's 6 times 6, which is 6 times itself 2 times. 10 times 10, which is 10 times itself 2 times. 15 times 15, which is 15 times itself 2 times. Okay, makes sense? This is called squared. Okay? Now let's look at a different example. What happens if we are doing, let's say, 6 to the power of 3? 6 to the power of 3. Okay? This is not telling me to multiply 6 times 3. 6 times 3 is 18. That's not the answer here. What this is telling me is to multiply 6 times itself 3 times. So 6 to the third power is 6 times 6 times 6. 3 times. 1, 2, 3. 6 times itself 3 times. Again, 1, 2, 3. Okay? Another word to express any number raised to the third power is cubed. Cubed. That's on your notes as well. So I could say 6 to the third power, or I could say 6 cubed. Okay? 6 cubed. Now, any other number raised to any other power, whether it's 4, 5, 6, anything different from a 2 or a 3, there's no special name. To the second power is squared. To the third power is cubed. Okay? Now, let's look at a couple more things, couple more vocabulary words. The next one is exponential and expanded. Okay, those are words that are on your notes, so you should go back and look at those. Exponential and expanded. Exponential is meaning that you're going to use an exponent. Okay, so when I say 5 to the power of 2, I write it like this. That is writing it in exponential form. Okay, I'm using an exponent to describe 5 times 5. Okay, so if it's an expanded form, I'm not using an exponent. I'm writing it out. I'm expanding it out. Okay, that is the same as that. This is expanded form. Now, here it doesn't really make that big of a difference because we're only writing it twice, okay? But wait, what happens if we were doing something like this? Say 7 to the 5th power. 7 to the 5th power, okay? This is telling me that I'm going to multiply the base, which is 7, times itself 5 times, okay? So I would have to write that one, 7 times 7 times 7 times 7 times 7. Wouldn't you agree that it's easier to write this than all of this? I think so. Because you don't want to work harder, you just want to work smarter, okay? So this is just telling you don't have to write all this. But this is basically 7 times itself 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? This is expanded form because it's expanded, it's bigger. And this is exponential form. Okay, because that's been written using an exponent. Okay, so those are the words that we have to learn. Okay, we have to learn what the base is, and we know that in this example, the base is 7. We need to know what the exponent is, and here it's a 5, so 7 to the 5th power. The whole thing is called a power. Okay. The next vocabulary word is exponential form, which is using an exponent to express a multiplication, or expanded form, which is using the long drawn-out format. Okay, so we've got 5 vocabulary words so far: base, exponent, power, exponential form, and expanded form. The other 2 words that we learned were squared and cubed. Squared means that you have a base raised to the 2nd power. So in our example on our notes, that was 5 to the 2nd power. This is 5 squared. 5 squared. Cubed is any number to the 3rd power. In this case, this example is 3 cubed because I'm multiplying 3 times itself 3 times. 3 times 3 times 3. I'm multiplying 5 by itself 2 times. 5 times 5. Now, the biggest thing that I want you to remember when you are working with exponents is that never, ever are you multiplying the base times the exponent. This does not express 9 times 4. It never does. It expresses 9 times 9 times 9 times 9. If you remember that, you won't be able to get these wrong, okay? You have to remember that you never multiply the base by the exponent. That is not how it goes. Always multiply the base times itself this many times, okay? So that's really it in a nutshell. The other examples, attachments that I gave you with these notes and this information, you should be able to complete it with no problem. You want to go on to Schoology, click on those documents, open them up with Cami, put the information right on the document and submit it back to me. If you have any questions, you guys all know how to reach me, okay? Good luck, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye, guys.